Hello, welcome to the All or Nothing podcast. Our official sponsors are KR Couriers and Transport Limited. This is a Northwest-based courier company delivering all across the UK. They can assist in home moves and removals to large, heavy and bulky items, collections and drop-offs. Fast, safe and reliable deliveries. Please get in touch for a free quote. You'll find all the information within the description. Thank you. Hello everybody and welcome to the All or Nothing podcast with myself, Billy Moore, and today's special guest and close friend is Tony Dodson. Tony, thank you again for coming
on. Bill. Pleasure.
Hope you're well.
Thank you very much for having me, Bill. I'm good, mate. I'm sound. I'm in a good place, physically, mentally. Yeah, life's good at the minute.
Last time we had you on, we had really great views. The comments were positive. You know, you got loads of great feedback from that podcast. We talked about a lot about your boxing history. You know, we went through more or less every fight.
By fight, yeah.
Fight by fight, which was quite interesting. Yeah.
To be honest, that's what people were messaging me saying. You know, it was a good insight into the story of how you got to where fight by fight, where you got in the end, but the run up to it, so to speak. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that they didn't know and didn't understand how boxing was fight by fight, like the anxiety before the fights, the build up to it, the conditioning, how you prepare. They really enjoyed it. Got good feedback myself. Yeah, and I wanted to bring you back on and talk about the current affairs and what boxing is like today. You know, you've got the likes of Jake Paul and Fury fighting, and you've got all Conor Ben's getting There's a lot of shit going on.
So let's talk about current affairs and boxing today and your thoughts, and let's just roll with that one.
Cool, let's do it. Where do we start?
We start
them
with
pair of prats, Tommy and Jake Paul.
Go on, let's start with them too.
I mean, look, Fury name, massive name, got none but respect for the whole family. See, people might look at it as us fighters, former fighter, are jealous because they're getting all the limelight, they're getting all. It's not jealousy, it's just
shame,
frustration that the general public can't see that they're absolutely being the kecks pulled down and shafted, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Anybody that actually sat there and said that fight was good doesn't know a thing about boxing. That was not a good boxing contest. It was shit. Simply, it was shit. I'd have beat the pair of them in one night. If I could have 8 to 10 weeks, maybe, possibly less, I know I'd beat the pair of them. They're terrible. They're just.
It's what Carl Froch said as well, innit?
Yeah, and rightly so, he would fold the pair of them. But if it makes money, it makes sense. Jake Paul's got this amazing following for whatever reason. That's
20 million
I don't know.
Instead, I believe.
It just doesn't. We missed the boat and all that, didn't we, Bill? It's nothing to do with jealousy. It's just unfortunate that me and you missed the boat on being part of that YouTube generation to make millions. No, we're talking 7 million. They got the 7 million for a pair of novices fighting each other. Wasn't even a good fight. It was terrible.
And that's more than some of these boxers will make in a lifetime, isn't it?
It is
trained.
It's frustrating that you have to. Most fighters now, professionals, have gone through the process of amateur, pro, years and years of dedication, commitment to get not even a fraction of what they've got.
The likes of Jake Paul have only chose Tommy Fury because of the name. Yeah. Right. Fury, Paul. It sounds good, doesn't it?
Makes money, makes sense.
It does, it makes money, yeah. So,
and again, I don't know Tommy personally. I've spoke to him on my Twitter a couple of times, and he seemed like an alright lad. Yeah. He's capitalised on the position he was in.
I think he's just about to pay the bills, and that's about it, really.
I seen John. Is it John? It's his dad, isn't it? John Fury was saying that he put a video up saying Jake Paul needs to abide by his agreement that if he loses the fight, Tommy gets all the dough, and rightly so, because he was fast enough doing it in front of all the cameras, saying sign the contract. You know, if I win, I take. He was fast enough, so now he's lost. I hope he honours it. Because
did he sign a contract?
No, well,
it was a verbal one, wasn't it? That was
John basically said it for Tommy, because Tommy looked like his arse went a little bit, but he won anyway. Hey, look, he done what he had to do to win. He got the win. That's all that matters. Yeah. I wish I'd have been a little bit more sensible in my career and just done what needed to be done to get the W rather than thinking with me my heart wants to knock everyone out, because that was the way I used to fight. I used to just get stuck in, and the wrong thing to do. Cost me.
Okay, and how many fights did you have? So
42.
So remind me, that was 42 fights, and how many did you win out of that?
I lost 8.
You lost 8?
I lost 8, but I'd say at least 6 of them were on
cuts. This is 42 professional fights.
Yeah,
8 losses.
I had 38 amateur fights. I lost 3.
Yeah.
You know, so my record's up there. Like, it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't have a senior fight. Turned pro the day I turned 18. Didn't have a senior fight, and that cost me. I think we spoke about this last time, but it cost me in terms of experience and developing as a man. I think you need to go through trials and tribulations and hard times to establish you as a person, like a strong-willed person. Obviously, your endurance and your fitness over time gets better. Yeah. I think I just watched Rocky IV when I was a kid and thought it was going to be easy to become world champion, and little did know. Big obstacles along the way. Some of them I overcome, some of them I knocked me back a couple of steps.
So what are your thoughts on Conor Benn and the testing program that's going on?
He's not doing himself no favours. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a little bit of the Piers Morgan interview. A little bit confused how he's come to be and do the things that he's done. Why would you not let the Boxing Board of Control have this dossier of so many 250 pages apparently of in his head proof that shows and supports that he's done nothing wrong? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
So I'll tell you my personal experience with the Boxing Board. So obviously we pay our fee for the Boxing Board. Absolute unbelievable organisation. Never had a bad thing to say about them. Every time I've been in contact with them, they've been honest, they've been reasonable, they've been flexible. They always try and do what's best for them and their fighters. That was me being a pro since 99 till 2018. So when I boxed over Mackenzie for the British Commonwealth, I failed a drug test. And as you do, it was Eastside Boxing back then. It was a boxing forum. So it was like Dodson, steroids, Dodson, drugs, cheat. So we didn't have social media back then. So I was like, whoa. So I made an account, got on. I said, no, I have not took anything. The reason why I was banned was for a substance in a pre-workout drink that I took for years. It was called Hemo Rage. It had a substance in it called methyloxamine. I'm surprised I didn't even say that word. It's that long and big. Anyway, so the process was a couple of weeks after the fight. I mean, obviously I lost the Oval. A couple of weeks after the fight, I got a letter through saying you failed the drug test. One of our representatives are going to come out to see you. Take it from there. So yeah, sound. So I forgot, Graham, I think his name is. He's the head of the doping agency in Britain. Whatever. I mean, it's been that long since I've spoke about it. So he come to my house, knocked at my door, sat me down, went through the rigmarole of the legal side of it, what they found. I'm like, what even is that? He said, well, that's why I'm here, to find out exactly what it is. I said, well, what's it do? He was like, just go and get your supplements or whatever you take. I said, yeah, that's everything. I had it ready for him when he was coming. It literally, I'm not messing, took him 10 minutes to read through, and he went, that's it. And he showed me the substance, methyloxamine. I said, well, what is it? I said, because I've took that pre-workout for years, and I've had, obviously, piss tests, drug tests, whatever, for years, never failed none of them. He went, well, this substance, let me just check. He checked on his computer. It got put on the ban list 2 weeks ago. I said, well, how am I supposed to know what's on the ban list if I've passed? Well, whatever goes in your body, you need to take responsibility for it. I said, but I'm a fighter, I'm training. I was under the impression if you can buy it off the shelf, it's you can use it. No, that's not the case. Every week, this is what he's telling me, every week hundreds of things get put on the list. It's not, and some of them it can be, it's not, when it goes in your mouth, it's legal, but when it mixes in your body with all other sorts of chemicals, it transforms and changes into something. That's not my specific one that I failed.
Your analysis,
but that can happen. Yeah. That's what he was saying to me, trying to explain to me. So he went, look, that's it. Obviously the fight was 3 or 4 months ago. I'm going to go back to the office. I'm going to work out, with me, whatever, what punishment we can give you. I said, but I haven't done nothing. He went, well, no, I can see you obviously haven't done nothing because you had this waiting for me for when I come in. I said, because I haven't done nothing. He went, but look, we've got rules. We've got to abide by the rules. I'll try and get it worked so that it'll be more or less time saved. That you've been out of the ring anyway.
Been on demand.
Yeah, sort of. Time saved. And that was that. Again, Conor Benn. Why has it took him so long to come out with this, whatever he's coming out with? And if it, like I said, it was me. I went, there's everything. You do what you need to do to the Boxing Board of Control, to our British Boxing Code of Control, drug people. I don't know what it's called. Is it UCADA or something? I don't know.
No, I'm not aware of what they're called.
I don't know what they're called. And I done that straight away because I'd done nothing wrong. If Conor Benn genuinely thinks he'd done nothing wrong, he wouldn't be behaving like this, would he? And I feel sorry for the Boxing Board because he sort of half dragged the name down, do you know what I mean? It's not good after all the years he's been fighting and what they done for his dad as well.
What do you think the drugs he was alleged to be taking?
The chicken eggs.
Yeah, but what are they going to do?
I haven't got
to him in a fight. How's he going to perform? What are steroids going to do to a boxer?
What are steroids going to do to fighters?
To perform a little bit better.
Come on, Bill, you're around a gym all day with juice heads, lads. You see what they lift. You see what they do. You see how it increases the strength, how it increases their endurance. And then remember Manny Pacquiao, or I think it was Pacquiao, was it? The EPO? No, it weren't. It was.
Yeah, but they're not going to take steroids either. They're going to be like test and all that. Is it?
Yeah, of course they're going to take it.
But don't they know?
Me personally, I've never come across any fighter that's done it, and if it did, I'd give them a piece of my mind because it's cheating. You don't cheat. You can hurt someone. People can lose their lives in our game.
What drug would you, if you were to take steroids today?
I wouldn't though. So
but if you was,
I think I would never do it though.
Okay, it's just an example. What would you take, or what would you?
Okay, so going what I was just about to say, I could be wrong. I think it was what's his name? What fighter was it that got done for EPO?
Because I'm thinking he's not lifting weights.
So EPO was a drug that one of the top fighters take. I mean, the viewers who were watching this will probably know his name straight away. I'm half punchy. I forget everything. I can't help it. So anyway, one of them got done for EPO. What EPO does, it makes the white blood cells which carries oxygen through your blood quicker. Yeah. So if you're in a fight and you're gassed out, this will make you recover faster. Okay. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So that's what that will do. Steroids, as I say, that was that type of drug what they were taking. Steroids would just increase your endurance, your strength, your punch power.
See, I wouldn't know. So
I've
never really fucking sucked them. Know what I mean? And if I've been under the influence of other drugs, so I can't even remember.
That's what it was. But the EPO thing would definitely enhance a fighter, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But again, all these top fighters in the States who are world champions or thereabouts or earning mega money, they can just get blood doping and get around the tests, or they'll find ways to do it. If they've got money, they can do it, and they will. But it's just a shame that it's got to that now.
So what have you been like doing with your life since boxing? That's going to be a big thing and a big loss.
Being a parent, and my head's been with them. Love me kids, say this all the time, love them to bits, but they're the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. The kids, they have the moments where you're like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be without them, and then you have your moments where, god damn, what did I do that for? But again, my lad's 21 this year, my little girl's just turned 10, so Anthony's not so much no more. He's into his boxing, he does his own thing, he's got a girlfriend now, he's settled down, he's happy, he still lives with me. My little girl, I have her 2 or 3 days a week. She lives with her mum, and she's just non-stop. Girls are on a different level from lads. So just looking after them. Been obviously I'm a firefighter by trade, so all my views are my own. I am not in any way connected to Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service, so I just had to get that in there because with my job, anything I say or do, if I'm connected to the Fire and Rescue Service, they're accountable for my actions. Yeah. So this is my own personal view, you know what I mean? I love my job. Literally, I always worried going through life thinking, when boxing's over, what I'm going to do. Because academically, I was thick, and I mean thick. Like I'm not educated at all. I'm not daft, but I'm not educated. I couldn't walk into a 9-to-5 job and study all day or be creative in that way. That just doesn't work for me. I'm more physical, hands-on, like yourself, Bill. If you want a hole digging or a wall smashing, I'm your man. But no, I was never good in school. I left early, as you know, when the last I told you I was 12 when I left school. So it's just basically looking after me dad. My dad, obviously, we spoke before. And you know what, I hate the way Scousers say, obviously. Nothing's obvious. Stop bloody saying it. Take it out of me vocabulary. I hate it. I hate watching it. Oh, it's not obvious. Stop saying it. I think it's sort of a nervous,
it's like
a nervous word.
You know what I mean? That's another one, isn't it? You know what I mean?
So anyway, my dad, my best mate, been with me since
you were born.
Obviously the day I was born, but no, through my career, through my journey. He's been there through my journey, through thick and thin. I've said this before, I don't think I can emphasise just how much I would never have done anything in the boxing ring if it weren't for my dad. My dad weren't even a fighter, taxi driver, bus driver. Never really was a fighter. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's smacked me a few times. Like,
was he a fan of boxing?
No. It was mad. He literally, like I said on the last podcast, he took me to see Rocky IV in Mutton Cinema in 1985, and that was it. But I'm talking, he went above and beyond what parents do. As a parent now, I've said it to my son, I couldn't do for him what my dad done for me. It was unbelievable what he's done. He'd never missed a boxing session from the age of 6 till I was finished. And it's commendable what he'd done. And it wasn't just so much just being there, it was the advice he gave me over the years and put me on the right track. He used to, the pep talks we used to have, you know, when you don't want your kids. I have them now with my little girl, trying to get her to go on the right path and make the right choices. That's what he'd done. He guided me all the way through to make the right choices. He used to use people from where I lived as examples, because in terms of like, they'd be standing on the corners every day. See, look at them toe. They'll still be there in 10 years' time when you're driving past in your Lexus. And he was. He said, but if you sacrifice, if you just do that, get yourself in the gym, keep your head down, work hard. Nothing comes easy in life.
Like the Mickey out of Rocky.
Exactly, same sort of thing. Same sort of thing, and it worked for me.
So just while we're on that, because it's quite important that you brought up that subject of like your dad being like a role model and a guide for you during, you know, your early stars in your career, and the talks that he had, right? Do you believe they were like paramount in your life to mould you to the man you was?
They are the foundations.
Brilliant, because see, like I feel strongly about like this now with my little boy as well. I think I little chats with him, right? Sometimes I think he's not taking a fucking blind bit of notice, but I believe that it wasn't like my dad never done that for me.
Yeah,
you know,
and you've seen that, obviously, because we're talking about
I felt it. Exactly.
So you know what effect that can have on him, and I'm trying to do the same with my son now. I've done it since he was born, but even now at 21, he asks me advice, and I give him examples because I've got more experience in life than him.
Yeah, of course.
Even though I'm only 21.
How old are you now?
21.
How old are you now?
42. 43 in July, I'm Bill. 43 in July. And you know what, mate? It goes like that.
It's always in a blink of an eye.
So quick. But again, I have these conversations with Anthony because I'm very lucky that he's took on board the chats, the way I live my life as a fighter, the way I live my life as a man. I always try to hold myself respectably and try not to do anything that I would be judged in a bad way in front of people. I always try to hold myself, you know, as like a respectable, proud man. I always try to do that, and as he was growing up, I tried to install that in him, and it seems to have worked, because even though I always say, hey, kids, I wish I never had them, I love them really. They're just hard work, and it's nice when someone comes up to me and compliments me about how well my son's behaved or how well my daughter's behaved. And you know what, she like the last couple of weeks, people have been coming to you going, you know what, so she's changed, she's grown up so much and she's so polite. I'm like, she's a credit to you. And
does she live far from where you're based?
No, not
like,
far.
So you haven't got like
a long
distance?
No, the school's 200 yards away from where they live, so it sounds, you know what I mean? And I can have that influence with her. And like me and her mum, we had a few years where we didn't get on. Like I literally.
So this is not the same month as Anthony's mum?
No.
Okay, so that's...
I was raped both times.
Yeah.
I didn't want kids. No, genuinely, I mean, I don't speak to Annie's ma. I wouldn't speak to her even if, you know, I had the chance. That's just the way it is. I don't need to go into detail of why, even though everyone's probably thinking, well, why? She's just a bad person. She was a bad person.
That's fair enough. It's your story. And
again, but Lucia's mum, we co-parent. I'm dead lucky though. I've got like the girl I'm with now. She's an absolute gem. She supports me in every way. I mean, even in terms of with my dad. Like I said, we haven't said what's wrong with him, but he's going through a really dark patch. And going back to, like I said, he's my best mate. He's done everything for me, and now it's my turn to return the favours. Well, not favours, but return the kindness that he's given me over the years, because he's just been diagnosed with early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, and it's hit him like a ton of bricks. Like, it's fucking so bad. It's just so bad. And to watch him some days, like he'll be sitting there with me, like today I picked him up and he come and hang around with me for today. I said, love hanging around with you, Dad. He's like, do you, son? Yeah, it's right. And then a couple of hours later he's just sitting there just like his head's gone. It's weird. My dad's got diabetes as well, type 2 diabetes, so with the bloods in the diabetes, it can have a massive effect on how he acts, his cognitive function, his reactions. I have to help him get in and out of the car. He's gone not bad. Like I said, he has good times and bad times, but most of the time he struggles. And what's even more heartbreaking, he knows. He knows there's something wrong with him, and it's just, I swear to God, it just kills me.
What age is he now?
He's only 62.
So he's still only young.
He's not old, Bill. He's just fucking... And again, he's my best mate now, so just seeing him struggle. I had to give him a shave today. I had to shave him. I had a laugh doing it with him. But it's heartbreaking having to do that to your dad. Yeah. But I'll do it every day of the week. I'll do whatever he needs for me. I'll be there for him every day of the year if I have to, because how he was as a parent for me, I'm indebted to him for the rest of eternity. He was that good. Do you know what I mean? It's just that they've got this drug what's getting tested at the minute. So what happens with dementia and Alzheimer's, proteins attached to the receptors in your brain, and it stops the transmission of information going back and forward. So when you'll say something to me, Dad, you can see he knows, and he just goes. And I know he knows it, but it's just not going through or coming out. It's blocked. And he just looks at me, oh, sorry, son, sorry. Dad, don't fucking say sorry to me. You don't ever have to say sorry to me. I say to him, the frog's in your head again, Dad. He's like, he starts laughing. I have to make a joke about it. Because if I don't, I'll crack up, mate.
You know what, also, I get really forgetful as well. You know,
it's the punches.
I know, and it's like names or something pops into my head, and I just can't. I know, like, straight away, just got I need a hint.
Yeah,
and then it's there.
Exactly, I'm the same. I think our age. I think because we're in the 40s. You 50?
I was 50 last month. Yeah,
bastard.
Well, January. I'm getting on.
Yeah, no, I did see it. Sorry, again, I forgot. Yeah. I forget everything. But again, it's just part and parcel of getting older, isn't it? Your body's not made to last forever. Especially not your brain after getting punched in the head for 30 years. See, that's the thing. So, my nan, my dad's mum, she's now got dementia. My dad's two aunties, my nan's sisters, they both died of dementia. So I've now, and especially with the punches I've had. Yeah. I've asked the doctors, you know what it's like getting a fucking appointment nowadays, you just can't get in. So I've asked them to do, because they can send me for a genetic test, and they will see if I've got the genetics that where dementia forms. So hopefully I'll get in and get that done, and I can start taking medication for that as soon as, you know, whether it comes back yay or nay.
Yeah.
So at least he can do something. Whereas I said to my dad, and so, you know, all these years my dad was in the gym with me, and I mean every session, he used to be working all night on the taxis and then come take me to the gym the next morning, and every session he could have trained, he never trained. And I say to him now, I said, Dad, I don't mean to kick a horse while it's down. Yeah. Sorry, a dog while it's down. I said, but if you'd have trained, it might have happened still, but it probably would have happened a little bit later because your body's in shape. You live a healthy life, fitness, whatever. But, you know, it's one of those things. Hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is. Hindsight is a beautiful thing. And we talk about, like, you know, I'm in that, like, in the gym, and it's all about longevity. I don't even know if I spelled it. Longevity, and this is what my PT keeps drumming into me. He says, you know, it's not about lifting big weights and doing fast things. It's about longevity. It's about a process, taking your time, you know. And that's what I've took on board is youth, and he coaches your son as well.
Yeah, no, he says, he's just
big shout out to Joff. So Joff does a lot for me. You know, we work together well, and you know, I listen to what he has to say. And a part of my ego thinks, well, you know what, fucking hell, like my experience and my years of wisdom, and I know more than him, and I don't.
You don't,
right? Because you know, there's new evidence that I haven't like researched, and they have, or them he has. You know what I mean? So
it moves forward, doesn't it? Everything progresses. You've probably got the same mentality as me from our era. First in the gym, last out. The harder the train, the better I'll be.
Yes, exactly.
That's not the case. That is not the case. And now that I'm a little bit more experienced, and I've experienced the ups to that and the downs to that, I think now I'm educated enough in terms of the boxing training to pass some advice on to Anthony, because Anthony was like, oh, we've done a 6 mile run there, and then I went and done the hills. It's too much, son. You should space out what you do. Like when I was with Adam Bood, we'd do one day we'd do a strength and conditioning day, then we'd do the track after it, then the next day we'd do a boxing session, then the next day we'd do a swimming session. We never done the same session every day. We do 3 days on and a day off, so your body was getting time to recover. Yeah. So you could give it your 100% the next time you go in.
So it's like a push and pull.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. You've got to get that balance. But see, the problem with that is everyone's different. Yeah. What works for me won't work for you.
Exactly, yeah.
Adam Bood worked for me, and it was just a shame that I couldn't have got with him earlier. But hey ho, it's life.
So what about title fights? So, I mean, let's just recall and reflect on what we spoke about last time, but you know, was there any titles, like world titles, on the card for you?
I told you last time.
I know.
I think I did. I don't know, but no, I don't.
I can't even recall, because it was, to be fair,
it was a while ago.
Me and Tony, this was you were probably one of the first podcasts we had. It was a few years ago. And
so
I've been through a few stories since then.
One of the ones that really sickens me, and I think we did speak about this. Obviously, you know, I had a sleeping tablet problem. So
I remember that quite well. Yeah.
John Wishausen says to me, "Look, so Christine Sanavia has got a voluntary defence for the WBC world title. Southpaw, good fighter. I mean, decent record, not unbeatable, very beatable. So it was a fight I was game for. I was happy to take him out. Look, we can get you this, but what we need to do is we need to get you a 6-rounder, get a W on your record, because you need to have boxed within the last 3 months to be eligible to fight as a voluntary." Sound, yeah, cool. So Wigan, in where the football stadium is, they've got like a sports hall next to it. Anyway, it was in there. The night before, my brother brought me sleeping tablets down, because as you know, I never used to sleep. I used to have to take sleeping tablets. I think it was more a mental thing with me, you know. I don't think it was the fact that I couldn't sleep. I think I used to convince myself I couldn't sleep. I think part of me just enjoyed that buzz. You know, the buzz off drugs, Bill. You know the score. I enjoyed that buzz.
You're chasing that feeling.
Chasing the buzz, yeah, because at that time, you're weight drawn, you're fucking starving, you're tired. It's just shit. So getting that little bit of a buzz off a sleeping tablet would put me asleep, get me rest, sound sorted. So as I was saying, I told you in the last one, I took a full packet of 14 sleeping tablets, 10 milligram ones. Before the fight. Night before the fight. So anyway, I ended up winning a fight. Got a bad head cut, didn't I? Got 17 stitches.
How the fuck do you win a fight after taking 17 10 milligram tablets?
Yeah.
What were these Zoppers?
Zopper clots.
Fucking hell, you must have been like sucking on copper pennies.
It was horrible, mate. But what I done then, the next day I took pre-workout. Again, like I said, the one I got banned for. I took that the next day.
So wake you
so
up
that
a
would
little
wake
bit,
me up, yeah. So, I mean, look, you know what? I didn't even box bad. It was a head clash in the second round. I done a 6
Is that on
fight.
YouTube or anywhere like that?
I've got the DVD somewhere. Because John McShausen sent me all the DVDs.
I get all of that.
I will. You know what? I've got a box with all my old videotapes in that I need to get converted. One of the lads in the pub keeps saying to me, "Bring them in, Tom, and I'll change them all for you." I just can't be arsed. I just can't be arsed no more. I'm proud of what I've done. I love me some fighting. But if I never watch another boxing fight again, I don't care.
You boxed Tony Quigley as well at one point.
Yeah. I seen your podcast with him on here. He's boss, so clever lad.
Yeah.
They're cute the way he boxed. Very clever in the ring.
He's been going through a few problems as
yeah,
well.
It's sad I've seen on his ring. He's been having fits and stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a tumour in his head.
Yeah, it's quite sad really to see.
It is, mate, because I think a lot of Tony, I think he's a really genuinely down to earth, lovely guy. And he's honest and he's straight with you. You get a lot of people over the years that I've bothered with that are dead friendly to your face and make out like they're your best mate. And I am a people person.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get with me. If I don't like it, I'm going to fucking tell you I don't like it, or I'll stay clear of you and I won't answer your calls. I won't speak. I won't bother with you.
Yeah.
But I've learned not everyone's the same as you.
No, definitely.
And people will be nice to your face and then go and talk about you behind your back.
You're definitely though bigger than you was when you were boxing.
Me now, I'm 16 stone now, mate.
And your fighting weight was
12.
12, see. Yeah.
I'm 102k, 101k.
I think you look better at this weight.
I don't look like a backhead. I was like this when I was 15. I think I was
a big kid.
Yeah, I was massive. At 15 years, I think the first time I made 12 stone with this, from 93 I won a 57k, 94, 63.5, 95, 67. So at 16 I was middleweight.
Big weight,
at 17 I was 12 stone 10, and then moved down to super middle 12 stone and kept it there till I was 37. That was the hardest part for me, just keep my weight down. It was such a and then you sit there and you think, how would I have been had I moved up? Would I have been a better fighter? Would I have been stronger? Could I have took the power? So many ifs and buts, but you know. Yeah,
but it's like recent, like Liam Schmidt.
What a fucking fight, by the way. What a fucking fight.
Put him to sleep there, didn't he?
Someone messaged me. Who was it that messaged me? Someone on Twitter. Wayne Alexander. Remember Wayne, like middleweight world champion, WBU, British champion, Commonwealth, European. He could bang, and he gave me a big essay of why he thinks that Eubank's going to do it. He's got nothing against, obviously, Liam or the family. He said, these are the reasons why. I said,
that he was going to win.
Liam's going to fold him. I'll show you the message. They were my words back to him. Liam's going to fold him. It's going to be mid to late. He's going to fold him. So I genuinely thought that Liam would catch up to him second half of the fight. Yeah. I thought maybe round 9, round 10 was where he'd turn the screw and stop him. Yeah. But he surprised me. But in no way am I making any excuses for Chris Eubank Jr. because I don't like him. I just think he's arrogant as fuck. There's no need to be that obnoxious and like. I know it's part of his persona and his personality. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry, mate. I don't like it. Manners cost nothing. Just be a nice fella. Yeah. So I remember watching him, and as the fight went along and his punch resistance started going, for me, they are telltale signs of someone that really, really, really struggles to make weight. Yeah. That happens. That's one of the things I noticed when I used to train myself. Your resistance to shots would be a lot less. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Whereas one of the things that Eubank was always known for was his conditioning and his chin. Been in with Groves and everyone who hits hard. Yeah. You know, Liam's supposed to be a lot smaller, light middleweight, not known as a devastating puncher. But I think Liam's bonuses as a fighter are is his consistency, his pressure, and his punch ratio as he's coming at you. He wears you down and then stops you. He was never like a one-shot fucking pony. No. But every shot,
and he's been in with the best, like Canelo as well, and you know,
every shot that Liam hit him with, it looked like it hit him. He proper hit him. I was made up. I love Liam. Liam's a lovely lad,
and he's reactivated his rematch clause.
Good. So I hope he folds him even quicker. Yeah. But what will happen now is, right, if you watched at the end of the last fight, Liam said, you know, it's on my terms now, 154. So that was at 158, I think it was, or 157.
So he's got a fucking
and you seen the condition Eubank was in for that. Again, I'll say, I think it was the weight that Liam was better than him, full stop. Done him, made up. Love to see it again. But I do think the weight had an issue. So to make 154, Liam's done the correct thing by saying that, because it's on his terms now. Liam's done everything that he wanted Liam to do. So, so it should be. And I just think it was round 4, was it, that he got him? Was it round 4?
Yeah. Pretty early in the fight, it was.
I think it'll be similar.
Yeah.
Round the same, it'll be similar, because Liam will. He's tested the water with him now. He knows what he's a
great domestic fighter, Liam, isn't he? So what do you think going forward? Like, do you think he's going to take his career even further now because of like he's sort of like come back with a vengeance, and
he's having a
from Canelo.
Yeah,
since Canelo, it's been uphill again, hasn't it?
Of course, I thought Canelo's. I mean, I've only watched the highlights of Callum's.
He fucking destroyed fucking Andy. What's his name, Fowler?
Yeah.
What's his first name?
Andy. Yeah, he done him. I said, obviously, like, I'm not going to say that fucking word again, obviously. It's not obviously. But, yeah, that was the way I thought the fight was going to go. To be honest, I thought it'd be a bit later that he'd get to Fowler, but he got to him sooner. But he done the same with.
But he hasn't fought since, I don't think, Fowler, has he?
No, he hasn't. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, because I seen a fight and I thought, he's got a. He's quite sharp here.
He didn't look out of place.
No.
He didn't look out of place. He looked like he was Liam a few times as well. So
he did actually, and I think Liam like admitted that he said, fucking I didn't
realise. He can punch, yeah. He can punch, but look, whatever he chooses to do, good luck with it. Yeah. It is what it is. But going forward for Liam, who after Eubank? Who is he looking at? Has he mentioned anyone? I think Tszyu. Isn't it? Is it Tszyu's son? Kostya Tszyu's got a son that's world champion.
The one who Ricky Hatton beat.
I don't know whether they're the same weight. I'm not too sure. So this is the thing with me. I should do a little bit of research before I come and do stuff like this, because I just do not take any notice of boxing.
No,
I don't.
Don't worry, mate. I'm the same. I've just been watching it recently, and that's how it is. I like the fights. I like Liverpool born and bred fighters as well. Especially whether it's UFC.
Yeah.
You got your Paddy, and I don't know where he's.
So Paddy was on. I used to do the radio show, didn't I, for Radio City. The gloves are off every day. Steve Hoversall, Sean Dodd, Peter McDowell at the start. Paddy come on when he was first coming through, and even at that young age, he was full of himself. You could see the confidence was there, and I think that's a massive thing for anybody that's going in a fight game. You need to be confident. These are level low, not overconfident. Believe in yourself. Give your vibe as a good vibe, not a bad, you're an arrogant prick, fuck, I hope you get done. Yeah. You don't want that. He got it right. Paddy was just a pleasure to be around when he was on the station. He come on a few times with us on the station. And there's something about him. There was a twinkle there. You knew that he had something different.
I like Paddy. I think he's great to talk to.
Yeah, and Molly as well. Molly's done really well.
That
elbow, what you knocked that girl out when she done the spinning thing.
I was so fucking sad when she lost the last fight. Like that was
experience, though. It's how she comes back from it. But see, that's the good thing about the UFC.
That Kate Blanchfield it was, and I seen her fight after Molly, right, and destroy an opponent. Yeah. It was so she is class.
Yeah,
I mean, so she was in with the top wig there,
top girl. Yeah. See, that's the thing, though. It's not with the UFC. I think they give the fighters opportunities to come back. As a fighter, when you lose your unbeaten record and you're not the top dog no more, if you've got no rematch clause like Eubank has in your contract, you're fucked. You get put on a back burner. You go back down to doing 4 and 6 rounders. That's the way it is. Whereas the UFC seems to like keep you at that level and give you decent fights and still pay you decent money.
Yeah, but give you big breaks as well, don't they?
Yeah.
There's not as many fights game as there is in boxing. You know what I mean?
No, well, I think the damage you sustain while you're in that cage. Saying that though, 12 rounds, mate, getting punched in the head. A lot of damage goes there.
Yeah,
but I think
it's sometimes most of you could spend most of your time in the cage fucking just holding on to each other, couldn't you?
Yeah, but again, it's the damage that you do to your muscles, your ligaments and stuff with the holds and the chokes. They take longer to heal than just.
Like Darren Till's out the game now, and he's not in the UFC now.
Isn't he in there now? As I say, I've lost touch.
Yeah, I've seen something recently about they've signed him off, or he's I don't know what's happened. I didn't really take much interest in the article, but it did. That he'd moved on from the UFC.
Yeah,
maybe to go into something else
Get a bit more confidence back, maybe.
I think his injuries, I believe, someone was telling me the other day in the gym that his AXL, is it? What is that what you call it?
Is that leg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something like that. It's fucking snapped. And he's at it doesn't repair well. And
it's like me with my Achilles. Bill, I snapped my Achilles, didn't I? Just before I was supposed to fight on the belly undercard at Goodison Park. Literally 10 days before.
I was there as well. I would have loved to have seen. Callum Smith was
Bill, I was in the best shape ever. I literally, Scotty Hamilton will tell you, he was training me at the time. Yeah. My weight was perfect. Because I used to have a book of every exercise or every round I'd done. I used to write everything down. I had like a dialogue of all my fights, and I compared them to see where I'm at so many weeks before a fight, so many days before the weigh-in, whatever. And I was there, even though I was older, I was still hitting them targets what I hit when I was 25, and I was excited. I literally went to Kirby, sidestepped, snapped my Achilles. Dream's over.
So that was what, in 2016, wasn't it?
2016, yeah.
Yeah, because that's when I was diagnosed with cancer, and it was like someone invited me to. It was my brother. He took me to watch Bellew fight.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what do you think? Fucking hell, this is probably going to be the last fight I'm ever going to see.
Shit, mate.
And you go through all that stuff. It's horrible. So I can understand.
I went through it with my mum, didn't I? So I feel it. It's sick.
And your mum wasn't even that old, was she? So
63.
Yeah, she was the same age as my dad when he passed away.
No, she went. My mum was 59. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your dad's 63.
Your dad's 63 because
59 she was.
She was even younger than my own dad. Know what I mean? It's fucking heartbreaking to.
I watched her deteriorate. They give her 3 months. She lasted 5 years. Got her on the cannabis oil. Shrunk the tumour by 50% when they said it.
Was this the THC cannabis oil? Yeah, the proper gear, not the shite fucking gear that people are fucking saying it's out.
That's a load of crap.
All that social media. Look, right, I've been fronted by loads of people. You get rid of this, will you sell that, will you promote this? No, because I know it's fucking shite. It's just like watered down fucking brown crap.
It's CBD. That's what it is.
It's CBD. You need, like, the reality is you need the THC, and I had the THC. Right, when I had cancer, right, I was taking the THC with the coconut oil, in the suppositories, I was plugging them. In the end, I was fucking just swallowing it like a mill. I had to get a mill in. That's what you needed, a mill a day.
My ma couldn't take it.
Yeah, it's in the end, it was going in spliffs for me. Yeah.
See, the thing with my mum, they said, so we sat down with the oncologist, is it?
Yeah, the oncologist, yeah.
How long got left my mum? They went, if she responds well to the treatment, we're going to give her radio and chemo. She responds well to the treatment, 12 months. So what if she doesn't? 3 months. I was like, fuck that. It's not happening. So I knew about it because my father-in-law went through the same cancer, took the oil. He stayed alive for 5 years. So the oncologist said, look, the best we hope for is to stop the tumour growing.
That's with the chemo.
It's attached to the sac around the heart. It's inoperable. That's the best we hope for with the chemo and the radio. She had 12 chemo, 12 radio. And my ma sat there with a smile on her face, mate. With a smile on her face all the way through it. She was like, I'm all right. As long as you use her all right, I'm all right. So she went through it. So I got her on the oil straight away. We went back 6 months later. 3 months. She lasted more than 3 months. Went back 6 months later. They done another scan. We'd shrunk it by 50%. Now, their words were, the best we hope for is to stop it growing.
Yeah.
We shrunk it. But the problem was, when you take the cannabis oil, it absolutely zonks you. Like, you're zonked.
Yeah,
you're zonked. Right. And again, I don't condone drugs. I'm not into drugs. I don't do any. I never have.
Yeah.
But when your mum's life's on the line, you'll try anything.
Fucking not half, mate.
So I got her on that. And she continued to take it, and she lasted 5 years, Bill. But the last 2 years, she basically said, look, I can't live like that. I can't talk when I'm on it. It makes me feel sick. I said, but Mum, if you don't take it, you're going to die. She was like, I won't, I'll be all right. Because she'd got past that period of 6 to 12 months, and it was now 3 years later, she was like, oh, I'm sound. No. And then she sort of just deteriorated. She had to get blood transfusions. She had to go into respite and that because she was just that exhausted, and it was just a fucking horrible time. And a time when I should have been supported by people around me. I mean, my dad and my stepmom and people like that did support me, my immediate family, but the people who you'd expect to support you like you've done for them weren't there. I never had no support. So I had to do this by myself. And it's like blank to me.
Yeah.
It's like I was just about to say the hardest thing I've had to give it a go for, but reality in my head is I can't fucking remember. I just remember feeling really bad. It was just a fucking... If you could torture someone,
that'd be the best way.
That'd be the best way to watch the person, to get them to watch the person that they love more than anything in the world deteriorate and then fucking die in your arms. She died in my arms, mate. It's fucking horrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't. Yeah. But hey ho, it's life. I'm still here. And I'm sure, listen, I'd love to be, don't get me started on religion. I'd love to be a believer in afterlife, and I want to believe it. And, you know, if whoever believes in whatever, I'm happy for you. And I'm glad it comforts you and gives you a better life. But for me, I don't believe in it. I just don't. I believe it's all just utter nonsense. I'd like to think my ma it'd be wherever it may be, up there, down there, wherever, and she's okay. And
you've never had any experience with spirituality or seeing anything that's like the unknown or unexplained? Because I know I have, listen, I'm open to it.
Yeah. I want to believe for them reasons that my parents died.
Yeah.
My mates have passed, and
see, I'll tell you something, like, there's a few experiences, not many, but a couple, right, that kind of like made me like fucking think there was something beyond what I was. And I'm like yourself, so I'm down to earth. Yeah. You know, I don't see it, I don't believe it. If you tell me about it, then that's just your opinion and what you've seen and your view. And this is probably what people will go, well, that's all he knows. But you know, when my dad passed away, I remember quite well, Tony, right, sitting in the room, there's whole family, right, in Whiston, in this room in Whiston. It was 10:25 in the morning, and we all held his hand, right, and he took his last breath, and then he passed. And I shit you not, because I wasn't the only one who felt this, the whole room just went cold, like the temperature dropped, like something left. Right, and I was like,
I've seen on programs like the ghost programs, and that's allegedly what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, well, that's what happened, Tony, right? That's what I was to feel that, because I thought I could not have been the only one who felt that, right? And you know, everyone else did. And I've also had experiences where when my nan passed away and my mum left us in the house on our own to go over the road because she was distraught, and the curtains in the living room and speak in Little Leaf Road just closed by themselves, and I was the only one in the front room. I was 8 years old.
And you seen that happen?
I seen it, so
fuck
right.
That mate, wouldn't be going back in
right. I seen it happen, right? Like shit, I shit myself. The curtains just started to close really slowly, right? I'm watching them, so I'm thinking, there's no one in the fucking living room, right? Why are they doing that, right? I couldn't understand it, and it scared me. And I ran upstairs to my little brother, Tony. He was in bed. And I was going, get up, the fucking curtains are closing. I'm scared. He went, fuck, that's all, mate. I'm not getting out of bed. So like, I crept back downstairs again, and the curtains were closed, and my mum walked through the door, and I told her, I said, mum, the fucking curtains closed. And she went, that's your grandma that looking out for you. Because if someone was walking past, they would have seen me in the flat, in the house, on my own.
And what have you done it?
Right, so see me there, sitting there. And I think what my mum was trying to do was say, look, you know, she was trying to like cover you from like fucking...
Yeah, you know, someone seeing you by yourself in the house.
Because a couple of days after that, we got our house broken into as well. So it was like, and he come through the same living room window. So it was like...
Maybe that was a warning sign. Yeah, your nan was trying to tell you. Listen, again...
but that's, it's like I said,
I don't think it's not possible. Yeah. I'd like to think it is possible.
I
do believe we all some form of energy. We are energies. That's proven. We're all energy. So it's got to come from somewhere.
It has, yeah. And I kind of like...
Only one thing's happened to me. One thing, and this I can remember as clear as day. So my sister had moved out, so I'd got my sister's bedroom because I used to have to share with my brother. So again, going back to not sleeping, 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting there watching the telly, not sleeping. My mum's in her room, in the main bedroom, with my dad. My dad's snoring, I can hear him. My ma's reading a book. My brother's in the other room. So, again, it must have been about 2:15. I heard as loud as that on my door. So, the door was, my bed was the side of the wall here. So the door, I can put my arm round and open the door there. So I put my head round and went, who is it? Nothing. So I got up, went to open the door, no one there. Billy, it was as loud as that. Walked into my ma's bedroom, my dad's snoring, my ma's reading the book. I said, did you hear that, Mum? She went, yeah, go and check Justin. Went into Juzzy's room. He's hanging with his arse out of the bed with nothing on. I'm like, he's fast asleep. It's not him. Who was it? She went, wait, me. My arse just fell out of me. Literally, my arse fell out of me. I just thought.
See, it's the little things
It did, but I wasn't scared. No, I didn't feel threatened.
Yeah,
do you know, it wasn't like one of them feelings where like I couldn't go back in there.
Yeah.
I went in, I was a little bit scared because it was
same. So, and it's, at that, like, to fucking move on to the next day, and I forgot all about it. You know what I mean? But it always like significantly stayed in my memory that it's like I probably can't remember your fucking name if you told me it and then you told me it again. But I'd remember stuff from back in the day. You know what I mean? So that's probably a little bit of onset of fucking, I don't know, just like punchiness. Maybe,
possibly that. It's not healthy getting punched in the head.
No, and it's also there's also a lot of fucking drugs that's happened. So like going forward now in your life, so we've had we've had a great like podcast with our first. We went through. We don't need to go through every fight because we've already. If people can watch, I'll put the link into the first podcast anyway onto this one. So if people want to go on the part one, go right. Let's go right through Tony's fights, fight by fight. That's an interesting topic. We've covered a few things here, which we thought, we'll come on because we're mates and we'll have a chat, and it's great to have you back on again. And I enjoy all the little catch-ups and that, and the messages. But what is it that like you're doing with your life, and what do you feel like you want to do with it going forward? Do you think you're going to be in a fire service for the rest of your life, or have you got plans? Are you going to go on holiday? Are you going to get married? Are you going to
So where I'm at right now is I'm content, and that's not always a good place to be. It's not, because when you get comfy,
slippers are on.
When you get comfy, you get fat.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get fat. I'm not saying, listen, if you're fat and happy, I'm happy for you. But me personally, that's my biggest thing, because I've lived a life of making weight. I don't want to let myself slip. I want to stay in shape. I want to feel good. So for me, my daily routine is, I'll get up in the morning, get my stuff ready for work. I'll be in work for 12 hours. So my shifts are 12 hours. I work 2 days, 2 nights, 4 off. But every day, religiously, I'm still in the gym. It's so important for your mental health and your physical health to get in the gym and train. You need to do it. I mean, I don't punch no more. I go on the bags every now and then. I'll go on the pads. One of the lads in my work, I'm dead lucky because the lads I work with, they're a boss gang, Blue Watch Speak. Tom Haynes he's not a new lad no more because he's been in Speak now for 3 years with us. But he was right into his boxing. He's on his white collar and all that. So when he met me, he'd already been to see me fight. He knew who I was, so it was good for him. So he takes me on the pads. Got another lad on there.
Is he good?
He's all right. He can actually fight. He's not. Don't get me wrong. He's not at a professional level, but he can box. He can bang a little bit as well. So don't give him a big head. don't big him up. Yeah, he can bang a little bit. He's a good lad, and he's like myself. He's very polite, very down to earth. Tim O'Leary, the other lad that's on the watch, he's just joined. He's a new recruit. Again, we've just been dead lucky because Lee Hunter, he's our union rep, but he's been in the job like 25 years. Yeah. He's like the old hand on the watch. And the boss, Paul Robson, I train with him every day now. We've become a friend, like out to work. And it's like, you never work a day in your life if you work in a job you love. Yeah. That was what my dad said to me, and I'm dead lucky that I found something that I love to do. Not only do we put fires out, we help the elderly in the community. We go around people's houses doing home fire safety checks and make sure that everyone's safe in terms of fire prevention. Yeah,
because you don't seem like maybe I'm wrong here, it's all right. I drive past these fire stations quite a lot. There's loads all over the gaff, right? And you never, it's very rare that you see them getting called out to fires.
No, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of other things though. It's like
car accidents,
a lot of RTCs, a lot of collapsing buildings, a lot of derelict buildings on fire. You'd be surprised how many kids actually set cars on fire constantly, all the time.
Like the police Matrix fans getting set on fire in Kirby the other week. Was you a part of that?
No. I was on shift, but we didn't get called to that. No. And I'm glad, really. Don't agree with it. I don't really want to go into the political side of things, but it's just wrong. You don't do that. You just don't do it. Yeah. These ways and means to deal with things
to get your voice heard.
Yeah, just not being violence just causes more problems.
Destroying fucking
It is.
yeah.
It is.
I don't condone it myself, to be, it's not
it's not the right.
not the right way to go about it.
18 years of age, I'd have been naive and stupid.
Yeah, same.
And got involved just like a sheep following the crew, the flock.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you get experience, and you stay well clear of.
So you still getting called? You still get calls out to do a lot of shit?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, no, CC Speak. We look after the airport, so if we're the first to get called. I mean, I've had a few call outs where planes can't. The landing gear doesn't come down, so I've been sat on the runway at 3 a.m. when this plane can't land. So we're there just in case. Luckily, the landing gear ends up coming down and that, but we're there and we get paid for the potential of what could happen.
Yeah.
Literally, I've gone into burning buildings where my mates fell through the floor on top of the fire, and you can't see a thing. It's pitch black. Your set fails, you're dead. Your mate can't get up off that fire, he's dead. It's the potential of what we could do. I mean, I'm dead lucky with the job, because the things that they put in place for us to prevent that happening are phenomenal. We do a lot of prevention and protection. They cover everything thoroughly. And one thing I can say is I've had the help, because I was never academic, as I said at the start. I'm more of a physical person, so I've had a lot of help in terms of the job of putting me into situations where I can learn from it, adapt to it, get the necessary skills that are needed to deal with things. And they've been dead good, because I've been diagnosed with dyscalculia. It's like dyslexia, but with numbers. So when I had to do the online test and the sit down test to get in the job, you got to do like maths, but the equations are proper. They just wreck your head. So I had to go back to school. I used to go like 3 times a week for 3 months with my cousin Stephen Rotherham, because he's a maths teacher, and learn how to do it. And the job put things in place to support me. And so it is their professional.
Does he wait for the fire service, Steve?
No, Steve's he's a teacher.
Okay.
He's a math teacher. Yeah. So
I thought he was the Lord Mayor for a minute.
No, he's the MP fella, Steve Rotherham.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not him.
No, I've got a couple of cousins who work in the Merseyside fire station. Well, service. I mean, you know one of them, Jason McCormick.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd ever come across my other cousin, Stephen Kinney. He's a little bit.
The name's familiar.
He's a little bit older.
What station's he in?
Do you know what? I can't really remember. But he was living in Bolton, so he's probably in that area.
Yeah.
He might have been. He'll watch this and he'll go, Bill, I was in that one.
Yeah.
And Steve, I'm sorry, mate. I don't know, but I know he'd been in the fires, he'd been in the palace.
You've already just got your alibi there by saying before that you punchy as fuck and you can't.
Punchy lad. So like you said, you don't want to be getting complacent. You're content. You don't want to get too content or comfortable. So. Yeah.
One of the things that I never ever wanted, and you know what, I do read the comments on the podcast, and when someone commented, the second he said he didn't want his kids, I was finished. And that's fair enough. I don't physically.
My dad, they don't give you the chance, do they?
No, but I don't. When it sounds worse than what I actually mean, because I would die for my kids. It's mad, when my mates are having kids and they say, "What's it like?" You can't explain the feeling that you get once you have a child. You've just gone through it. Even though you don't know that kid, you would die for them the second you meet them. Like unconditional love. I love the bones of my 2 kids. Would I go back and do it again? No, I wouldn't. But again, it upset me a little bit reading some of the comments. People thinking, tagging me as in like I don't give a shit about my kids. That's not what I mean when I say that. So
we've clarified that.
Yeah, I understand now after I've done it how hard it is to be a parent. And I forgot where I was going with this now because I've just fucking my head's gone.
Yeah, it's alright, we're coming to the end anyway, so it's been fucking great. I've enjoyed it really. It's like it's been a bit of everything, hasn't it?
Do you know what you should do? We should go out on the ale one night, sit in the pub and just have a camera.
Yeah.
And just talk all night.
If I was on the ale, mate, I'd be in prison. Right, we've come to the end again. Okay. Right, so I think he asked you the last time, but I'm going to ask you again. Like, any pearls of wisdom, what would you say now to a young Tony Dodson coming through the doors of life? If you had an opportunity, I know you've got a son, right? You'd probably say the same thing, to him that you'd like to have said to yourself. What would you say?
In terms of boxing or any sport?
Just in terms of life. Really. Just some experience. Oh, pearl of wisdom.
Control your emotions for a start, because
Yeah, totally.
I think women, for all, they can make or break you. It's an old cliche, but it genuinely is. They can make or break you. Yeah. I wish I'd met my partner that I'm with now years ago, because I'd be in a different position. Yeah. I'd be in a better position, because she just supports me, and I've actually fell on my feet. But for my son, my advice to him is like, look, mate, this is even though you feel like you've been doing this forever, it's a very short window that you've got to make things happen for you. So you need to put everything to the side. Going out, partying, girls, this. You prioritise.
That's exactly what I've been saying to me stepdaughter.
Yeah, you prioritise what you want in life.
Yeah.
Because it's a short window. You got a long time after you finish with that to do what you want to do. But the difference will be if you commit yourself to doing something, because he has got the ability, my son. If he commits himself to doing, the boxing and getting somewhere, he will get somewhere, and he will make a lot of money, and he will be able to live that second half of his life a lot better than he could if he didn't commit his life. Do you know what I mean? You've got to commit. Yeah, that's the one thing to all of the fighters.
You got to
make them sacrifices. Yeah. They're not easy, and it's hard, and you miss out on a lot. You miss out on so much good times with your mates, girlfriends, family parties. You miss out on all that, but in the long run, it's so much better if you can just focus and hit your goals before you start partying and going mad.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean?
With that, so
Star Bill, thank you very much, mate.
Nice one.
Cheers.